Hey everybody, this is TheShovelier, and as you may have taken notice, my name has changed. I've thought about it for around a month, and I've come up with a name about as well thought as the last one. Around the same time I came up with the name Soviet Power, I was starting to go in the direction of a capitalistic, pro-American, God-fearing philosophy. However, I was not fully delved into the political spectrum, or gathering information to form a real decent hypothesis or political standpoint. I knew that Soviet was somewhat associated with communism, and that socialism, especially in communist countries, was an inferior philosophy compared to capitalism. However, I thought that the term Soviet was more or less a representation of the brawn possessed by the Russians, as well as their ability to suffer through numerous hardships. This thought, however, is admittedly wrong. The term Soviet should be more closely related to the killing of about 60 million people by a government so engrossed in their idea and philosophy that they thought that tens of millions of people killed in the gulags and underneath the Chekist government buildings, as well as the rest of the country that was in a state of starvation and economic decline. They thought that the facts were wrong, and to achieve their socialist utopia, all they had to do was massacre a few thousand more. They figured that instead of them being wrong, instead of even considering for a moment that their philosophy was fundamentally flawed, they killed the opposition, and the support, and anyone else who was so much as accused. And the only solace in this self-genocide is for the most part they were murdering people that were already dead. To me now, the word Soviet represents oppression, massacre, famine, actual ignorance, a lack of innovation, a lack of human consideration, madness, and soullessness. I tried to reconcile my name by putting on the drunk Karl Marx and I figured that worked, which was another error on my part. At this point though I have decided part out of selfishness since I do not want to be misunderstood as one of the communists that are surfing the internet, but also out of respect for those who actually went through hell on earth in Soviet Russia to not propagate the system and trivialize their anguish. By far the hardest thing on me in doing this is the IP I blew on a name change just before this and a couple of videos where I say I'm the Soviet Power, and my channel will say TheShovelier. So my sacrifices really won't be that great. Also, on the topic of TheShovelier, it really doesn't mean anything, which goes along kind of well with my channel titles being plain balderdash, and it is shorter, which is a plus for marketing and all that jazz. The only real downside I see from this is that ear instead of kind of makes it sound faux français, and like I'm trying to be prestigious and more intellectual than all those lowly peasants on the interwebs. But it was, in my opinion, the best one I came up with, and I like the sound of it as well.